Of the five starters, you're the one that played most of the fourth the other day, but were you surprised to come out of there at the end? Minute and a half or whatever was left?
Yes. It was funny. Like, I kind of looked around, I looked at the time. I was like, what? But what's great about it is we have a team. And when you have a team full of guys like that, we're still able to pull out the win. And I think that's the best part, just seeing a guy like Jacoby have his moment like that, like it's so cool to see.
It really did seem like a cool moment for you guys cheering them on from the bench, but as a competitor and a guy obviously who's used to being out there in those moments, if that's something that happens more often towards the end of the season as team tries to develop some of the younger guys, is that something that you'd be okay with?
I mean, I think we're trying to build a championship team here. You know what I mean? I think like a team needs everybody. So those guys getting, that development, that's necessary for us, for the next coming years.
How happy were you as a guy who's known AJ for a long time to see him play in that moment and to play really well in that moment?
No, I was hyped. Especially I was more hyped because I literally, right before he did all that, I literally said, like, yo, be ready for your shots. They're going to come. You're going to make them. And then he started going crazy. So that was even more fun to see. Yeah.
When you think about, like, the culture and just, like, the energy on previous teams you've played on, kind of where does this team stack up?
Man, this team, like, the chemistry here, the togetherness it's on a different level. You see, like you said, our starters got subbed out. You didn't see anybody pouting or anybody being upset. Like, we were cheering on the next man. We're all on the bench hype. And obviously we sharing each other's success, so it's amazing.
RJ, we saw Darko give you the chain after the last game. You said you got 10 deflections. Have you put in more work on the defensive end? And if so, how proud were you to get something like that, 10 deflections?
And I've been trying to put in more work on the defensive end all season. So, it's just getting better as a player in every single area. Every day is the goal.
How do you do that, like on the defensive end? I mean, obviously, you're improving something like your three-point shot. Like, that's a tangible thing to kind of work on in practice. Is it tougher to work on and improve on something like defense?
One, mindset. Two, just being in a place where, defense is talked about a lot. Defense is praised here. It's something that watched a lot of film on it. Coaches staying on me about it. The players, we all keep each other accountable for it. So it's something sometimes where we're talking about defense more than anything else. You know what I mean? So it's just when you have a culture like that, it's easy to buy in, and it's fun for everybody.
Is that where you noticed the biggest improvement in your game this season, would you say?
I think I made improvements in a lot of areas, but I think one I'm most proud of is my defense, for sure.
RJ, I see a lot of your guys playing one-on-one over there. How often do these guys play one-on-one, and who do you think is the best one-on-one player on your team?
They started to play one-on-one a lot more lately. I'm a professional scorer, so I'm definitely going to say myself. But I let them have their fun.
Okay.
Darko mentioned that it's not something that happens as much around the NBA now, like guys playing one-on-one against each other in practice or whatever. Is that something you noticed going away over the years, and how important do you think it is to develop one-on-one skills?
I think it's something that's cool because you guys don't really know, but we see it. So there's sometimes like a guy does a certain move in the game that he might not have been doing before, but he's been working on it. He's tried it in one-on-one a couple times. Now he's comfortable to do it in the game. And some of those shots have been, big shots for us down the stretch. So, yes, I think it's important.
So Jacoby's shot was practiced on a one-on-one.
And also defensively too. Like there's that specific one about Jacoby. There was something that he was doing every time. He was playing one-on-one, and he stopped doing it, and it helped in the game. So it's been translated.
Were you surprised not to come back into the game the other day in Orlando?
No, we won the game. That's all that matters.
In a lot of cases, like something like that happens in the middle of the season, starters on the bench to close a close game, like that could, in a lot of cases, not go very well. But for you guys, like you're all up on the bench. You guys seem really happy for the young guys. What does it say about the team that you guys are able to accept that and embrace it and be happy about it?
I think we're just super proud, super happy. Those young guys that get opportunity to just keep building something. And they stepped up to the plate, won the game, hit some big shots. So it's a developmental thing. We're development, trying to get everybody better. And these young guys, they've been great so much throughout the whole entire year. We see what they can do out there on the floor when they get the opportunity in that chance.
At the same time, as a competitor and somebody that's used to being on the floor in those moments, would you be okay if that happens more often later in the season? The team's looking to develop the younger guys in those tight games at the end of games.
Hey, we want to keep developing this team. We're trying to build a championship team here, and we want to see what it takes, and we know what we got here. We're just trying to build something special.
You, RJ, Darko, all have echoed that same sentiment today about like the big picture and trying to build a championship team. How hard is it to keep the big picture in mind though? Sometimes, like when you are a competitor in the moment, a young star player like yourself.
I think you guys can just see in that moment. Everybody was up, excited, cheering, happy. We're excited for each other. We love to see each other's success, and that's what this team is built off of.
Defensively, we're talking to RJ about sort of, you got the chain last game, you got 10 deflections last game. He said he's been working on his defense all season, but that's something he's been really proud of. Have you seen a higher level out of RJ defensively?
I seen that this summer when he was playing FIBA basketball. Just seeing how hard he was working, trying to guard, being active, and then just sticking to our principles. He gets really excited getting defensive stops now. So that's a great thing to see. That's huge development for him. We just want to keep seeing that grow.
As leaders, when you guys commit defensively like that to that level, what have you noticed that sort of change the attitude of the rest of the team when the leaders of the team are defending like that level?
Well, for sure. It's like a domino effect. You see one person guard picking up full court, everybody else wants to guard pick up full court as well. We just got to keep trying to make things hard on the defensive man because that just helps us in so many ways. It helps our offense, it helps our team morale, it just helps everything.
Darko, when you decide that the starters are going to finish the game on the bench as you did the other night, I guess when do you make that decision and how do you communicate that to the guys?
I made a decision in a game. We always talk about importance of young guys being on the court when big moments are there. And this looked like opportunity for young guys to be out there and have really experience of playing on the road, playing against really good team, really good defensive team, and trying to find the best way how to close that game. And I think it served the purpose. Guys stepped up. They were not afraid of the moment. We were able to close that game, and those kind of experiences are very, very valuable for us.
See it coming more frequent in the last 20 games of the year?
We're just gonna go. We're just gonna go game by game. The same what we're trying to do whole year stays there, Doug. It's gonna be developing young guys. And when we look at our team, we gotta think about long term. We gotta think about our commitment to winning championships, and it cannot just be this game or that game. It has to be seeing the big picture. And big picture is we gotta build from within. We gotta develop our young guys. We gotta put them in situations to learn, to be successful, to fail, and to learn from it.
In some circumstances, some ways, last year you were in pretty much the same way, except guys were injured, and you had NBA players who may not have been NBA talents at the end of your. These young kids are pretty good playing. What do you think? What do they gain in that regard?
I think
compared to what you were at.
Yeah, it was. I think it was last situation last year. A different situation last year, just because all of those injuries that you mentioned. Unfortunately, right now we are dealing with injuries of Brendan and Grady and Jamo and Jamison Bella. He's coming back. He's going to be fine. Ochai is also out. So all of that presents great opportunity for our young core, for young guys to go out there and then really compete. Is that getting some nights more minutes? Is that going to be on some nights closing the games? Whatever opportunities that I think in the moment are the best for their development, I think we're going to use those opportunities.
And you think you probably had enough from your regulars in the familiarity department that you're okay with them, comfortable chemistry-wise?
I think so. I mean, we're going to continue developing that chemistry as well. We talk a lot about Emmanuel Quickly and Yak playing together. I think those minutes will be important for them to continue developing that chemistry. Scottie and Quick playing together. That's very important for the future. Chris Boucher is a player that's been with us for a long time. We know Chris inside and out. We know what kind of player he is, what kind of professional he is, what he brings to the table. But there is a lot for us to learn about for example, JMO. And JMO, there is a lot for him to learn about the league and how to play, how to best contribute.
What's the plan for Yak? Do you anticipate ramping him up a little bit more, or do you see him being on this minutes restriction for a while?
I think he's gonna get back to his regular minutes, playing more closing games. I think it's important for him to stay in it, physically, mentally, and everything. We're gonna approach with each player with very specific goals where they need to continue improving and getting better. So our plan does not change at all. We're really trying to develop all the guys. We're trying to play hard every single game. We're gonna try to compete and win every game.
The 2 games before last, the Chicago game and the first Orlando game, Yak wasn't out there at the end, but you had Scottie, IQ, RJ, and like the leads obviously dwindled. In Chicago, it went away. Do you need to get those guys more late game reps specifically this year?
For sure, I think that they need that as well. As I said, like all of those close games, it's very important for all of our guys to get those reps. It's gonna be on me to decide in which game what I'm looking at, how I'm trying to develop on certain night Jacoby, and what it means to create more room for him. But for other guys, it's gonna be important to finish games together as well.
How difficult is that for you with so many, let's say, objectives and things to consider, and how do you manage that in a 20 games left, whatever?
I mean, for me, I'm constantly trying to have the big picture, and big picture is where we want to go, what we're trying to achieve with the team, how we want to develop all of those guys, to put them in situations that they can learn and improve. And that's my objective during the whole season, and that's going to be my objective for the next 20 games.
We see your guys play one-on-one over there. I want to ask, how often do they play one-on-one like that? And who do you think is actually the best one-on-one player on your team?
Two really good observation and really good question. Playing one-on-one like this, it's kind of like in NBA, it's kind of like getting away, So we're really trying to get our guys to be in those situations and to encourage them to do more of that. I think it's very, very important for them to play. And who is the best player? That depends on a night, depends on a matchup, and depends on many things there.
It's Damon Stoudemire, and thanks for watching the Toronto Raptors YouTube channel. Check out our latest videos and subscribe for more.
Stoudemire launches a 3, knocks it in! Stoudemire. Yes! What a Damon Stoudemire!